Hey guys, we are live with our weekly Ants conference call. So you guys know the drill. While we get started, go ahead and start typing in your wins for the week, the things that you're celebrating, any good news that you want to share, anything positive that's happened over the last week that you want to talk about, and we can get to celebrating with you. So as usual, I kind of just give everyone a couple of minutes to join in, to get connected, and I give you guys some time to start typing. So we're just gonna give it a couple of minutes, let everyone get logged in and start sharing their weekly wins. Hey Jessica, girl, you're the first one here. Good job. On point with your time as usual. Hey Tiffany. Hey Cicely. Hey Anitra. So I see some of the leaders are on, so I know I'm going to be having some good news being shared today. I know this is not going to be a boring meeting, and I know you guys are excited about party time. It's the holidays. Halloween is gone. We are officially in party mode from here on out. So I'm super excited. Like, in the whole year, this chunk from like November 1st to, I don't know, not even December 1st, New Year. So a little after January. So I guess January 2nd. This is my favorite time of year. Not my birthday, not Independence Day, not even Easter, although it comes pretty close. But this chunk right here. We've got food for Thanksgiving. We've got the Christmas presents. We've got New Year's. All our favorite holidays are stuck in this big group. And it's also really, really positive, really energetic, really exciting time for our businesses, because this is usually the time of year where we sell the most for most of us. I know it varies for different people. Some people are more fundraiser oriented at the end of the year. Some people are more bug guard oriented. But for me, this is my favorite time of year. And it's funny because when I first started, as you guys know, I was a student in school. So a lot of my initial Avon years were while I was in school. So this time it was always a little difficult for me because I had to try and manage the customers and manage finals. So a lot of times I didn't get to work my business the way I like to. But since graduation, I've been able to get more active, participate more in events, and do parties and events at the end of the year. And it's great because you work so hard during the year, you kind of get burned out towards the end. So this is a nice time to rest as well. So it's a good time. You get a little bit of both worlds, and I'm excited about it. I like it. So let's see. I know you got some things that we're celebrating. Oh, you guys are good this week. Yay. I don't have to pull teeth. All right. So Tiffany says she received several referrals from her customers to follow up with for this holiday shopping. She has a small business open house scheduled for next Saturday. Awesome. Jessica says she got a new business partner. Congratulations, Jessica, and congratulations and welcome to them. They've got a really awesome leader, so they're in good hands. Hey, Cecily. Anitra says she has another event on December 1st from people who found her on Avon.com. That is awesome. She says she has 3 new customers in the same... And the text got cut off. Sorry. She has 3 new customers in the same diner. Sales are increasing and she's interacting with more people. That's great. So I like what everyone has to share, but the theme is we're growing our business. So that is great. People are promoting their business. People are looking for us as representatives. I love the new ad campaigns. I love that Avon is out there in social media. They're promoting in different magazines. They have the Boss Life ad campaign in magazines, but they're also connecting with different editors of different magazines and newspapers to just promote Avon representatives. So people are out there talking about Avon, and it's our job to piggyback on that and take it another step. So Avon is like fertilizing the ground. They're tilling the soil, and it's our time to come through and plant the seeds so that we can have a really great and bountiful harvest. And coincidentally, it is harvest time, so what a fitting way to segue into our talk for tonight. So party selling. I know you guys have a lot of questions about this, and I've actually been getting a lot of questions from my team from interest with party selling, and there are a lot of resources. I always recommend you jump onto YouTube. Avon also has an Avon University, some selling ideas, tips and tricks. Those are the places that I start whenever I want to do something. I find, especially in sales, you don't have to reinvent the wheel every single time. I am guilty of that, and some of the things I have to share with you today are things that I kind of came up with my own, but it's not stuff that I invented from the base. It's stuff that I've taken and modified and made my own. So you want to reach out, get online, just do a Google search, party selling ideas, party selling tips, ways to increase customers, ways to increase sales, and look at what other people are doing for their parties. And a lot of times, I mean, a party's a party, whether it's an Avon party or a birthday party or an anniversary. The point is people getting together, celebrating, and having fun. And I think if you keep that in mind, then you can have a successful party. I think too often we're so focused on having an open house, on having a sales party, that the party loses the fun that it's supposed to have. So you know, it could go both ways. It could be so fun that nobody buys anything either, which isn't good. But you want to try to strike a nice balance in between. Hey Milagros, thank you for joining. Cecily says she gained 2 new customers since her last campaign. Awesome, great job, Cecily. Forgive me because it's the evening and I've been tired lately, putting in that work, which is good, but my contacts are dry, so you might see me squinting. I'm not going blind, it's my contacts. Anyway, so what I'm going to do today is I'm actually just going to walk through with you with my party selling checklist. I actually have an event this week, Thursday. I try to have one event per month. I call them sip and shops. I kind of talk about them a little bit in the Avon video, the Avon Boss Life video, and we did like a mock shoot of an Avon Boss Life event. Wow, Pamela coming all the way from SLC, Utah. Woo-hoo. I never get state shout outs. That's awesome. Thank you for sharing how far you've come. Don't you guys love social media? Like, I'm all the way in New York, she's all the way in Utah, and we can still connect. Milagros is in Florida, Anisha's in Pennsylvania. It's just awesome. Anyway, so what I do is I try to have a monthly sip and shop. I don't like to say control freak, but I like to have a schedule, and I like to know when I'm going to be doing what, so that I could plan out my schedule, plan out my calendar, and so that when I'm in the field, I'm talking to people, I kind of know what I'm doing. And I've always tried to do that as much as possible. So if Thursday is my Avon day, when I'm speaking to someone, I can say, you know, more than likely I'm going to have my time free on Thursday for deliveries or calls or whatever. So, you know, I can partner with them for that. If I'm prospecting and I know I'm going to be in the same spot every Friday, I can tell people, you know, I'll see you next week when we come back, and it develops a rapport. So a long time ago, maybe last year, gosh, I think it's been a year already, almost over a year now, I started doing these sip and shop events, and I had it every third Thursday because third Thursday is easy to remember. So when I talk to people, I tell them, you know, it's the T's, the THs, third Thursday. It's not Tuesday, Wednesday, or Friday. Third Thursday, and we kind of talk about it and joke about it, but it creates a trigger in their mind that, you know, will help them remember. So later on, if they see my flyer, or if they see the Avon catalog, or if they know they need products and they haven't gotten a catalog from me, or maybe there's someone that I just passed a sample pack and we didn't really connect and stay in touch, they'll keep in their mind every third Thursday, Georgiana has a party. I've also tried to have it in the same location. This party, I'm actually having in a different location. There were some scheduling issues where I normally have it, but I also try to have it in the same location so that it's just like with, we used to have the Avon offices, you knew that the office was there, so you would always just go there. It's nice to know that a person is going to be in a certain spot at a certain time. So if you're out of touch, you can still go there and get connected. You're not passing each other by. So I try to have them third Thursdays of every month, just to keep it regular, so you don't have to be guessing, oh, well, you know, is Georgiana meeting? Is it going to be this month? Is it going to be this Thursday? It's going to be at this place where, you know, if you've lost touch, it's too hard to remember. And I know how I am with stuff. I don't have the mental space to be adding things, so I want it to be easier for my customers as well. So I try to first set a date and time that I said people will remember, and that is convenient for people. That works for my schedule. Thursday worked for me because I actually have that day off devoted to my Avon business. So it was easy for me to do whatever I needed to do in the morning to prepare, and then I had it in the evening. I have it in the evening because a lot of my customers are the working crowd. Again, if your customers are mostly parents, then a morning event might be better for you, but try to take those things into consideration when you're planning and choosing a spot. I also try to have my events close to the train station because we're in the city and the parking is a beast. So I try to have it close to the train station so that people can commute that way. They're not spending 45 minutes looking for parking, because I know how I am. If I'm driving around and I see that 15-minute, half an hour mark pass, I'm headed home. I'm just like, I can't bother with this. I don't want to do it. So I try to eliminate as many barriers and obstacles to people attending my event as possible. So I try to make it close to the train, so they're not walking too far. Usually in the evening, especially now in the Northeast, it gets a little bit dark after 6:30. So, you know, if people are in the dark, I'm not going to pick a place that's in the middle of nowhere. It might be a more affordable location. It might be a bigger space. I might have more control. But if I'm going to make my guests, who are mostly women, uncomfortable, it's out for me. But when you're choosing spots, you can have it at your house. You can have a host for you at their house. I've had events at diners and cafes, book clubs, at the gym, wherever you can find a space. A lot of times people will rent out, what do they call it? Like party halls. So if you can find a hall, you could do it that way, but it can get pricey. I usually do them at my office. This upcoming event I'm actually having in a restaurant. They have a space, mezzanine upstairs, that they're allowing me to use, so I'm going to try that out to see how that works. Out of state, I've heard of people using IHOPs, Denny's, any little restaurant or diner, as long as you can get a space. I try to look for areas where it's not too noisy, where my group can interact and socialize outside of the regular patrons, because for me, the sip and shop, it's also a mixer. It's an opportunity for beauty bloggers, fashionistas, people who just love Avon and beauty and makeup, I've had people come from out of state who don't know anyone in the city, and they've come to see if they could kind of meet other people who are who have the same interests. So I try to make it a mixer as well. So you know, I want people to be able to speak to each other and feel comfortable with each other without having so much noise and interaction from other places. So keep that in mind. Hey Kathleen, I'm glad you can make it. Doesn't matter that you're a little late. What's important is that you're here. Hey Lisa. So those are some things to kind of keep in mind when you're trying to choose a location. The reason why I go through so many changes is because I can't have parties at my house. Just no. But if you're okay with having guests in your house, then do it that way. Another thing, I try to keep it as simple as possible. So again, don't go through the whole, oh, I'm having an open house. This is, you know, going to be the Hyatt and the Marriott level of work here. You can have 3 or 4 girlfriends over with a couple of Avon brochures and a couple of products. It'll make it much easier for you and better for them, because when people are in a comfortable atmosphere where they don't feel like it's a sales presentation, they'll shop more freely, then invite their friends, they'll have more fun. So they're not as stressed about, okay, you know, like, have you guys ever gone on vacation and they have those like rental homes, those, what do they call them? It's like when you buy or rent or lease a house or an apartment, and it's shared. I forgot what they're called, but you guys know what they are. You know, when you go on vacation and they have those presentations and they're like, you know, come for 3 days, it's free. All you have to do is spend one of those days in a meeting, and you're kind of like, okay, I do want the free vacation, but do I want to spend a day being bombarded by these people who are trying to get me to rent or invest in this home? And you kind of have that anxiety. It's the same thing with your Avon parties. You don't want people to have that anxiety. You want them to come and have fun. So I try not to, I demonstrate the products, I talk about the products, I sample, I give away freebies, but I try not to make it an atmosphere where it's like, okay, everybody sit down, I'm going to present, you are going to walk away with $100 worth of products when you leave here. I know that I wouldn't want to go to an event that was like that, so I don't do it. We could leave that for, you know, other companies and other events. So for me, the Sip and Shop is a get-together. Also for me, it's an important aspect of the Sip and Shops, because working full-time, being a student, like all the activities that I've had over the years, especially in my field, which is mostly male dominated, I didn't really get a chance to socialize with my female friends as much as I would have liked. So this offers me an opportunity to reconnect with friends, connect with my customers, because also a lot of times we're dropping off orders and then running to deliver to someone else, or you know, you're at work, so you're delivering orders during your lunchtime. So I didn't really have a chance to socialize and connect and, you know, continue to build the relationships with my customers, because, you know, they're friends also, and we weren't getting a chance to socialize. So these sip and shops are also a chance for me as a representative to socialize and connect and, you know, build relationships between my customers. A lot of my customers who have come to the parties have become friends with each other. So it's just all building relationship. Try not to keep it so much on yourself, and also think about the people who are coming, because if they're coming and they're benefiting as well, they'll be more likely to come back and invite others. So it all boils down to that network marketing idea. You're networking, you're building relationships, not just for yourself to get sales, but to build relationships in the community. And keeping that in mind, you can have sip and shops, you can have open houses or whatever you want to call it. You can do fundraisers for community events. You can have one and invite your girlfriends over, whether it's a group of 3 to 5 girls at your house or 15 to 20 people at a space you've rented out, whatever it is. You know, regardless of the size of your event, it still counts as a party. You can get them together to do a fundraiser for another event. Invite them over. I don't know if you could see, but let me see if I could turn this. Up in the corner over here, that's my Eduardo. Last year, I guess it's already last year. Last year I did a fundraiser for a church organization. We could have had like as a matter of fact, I think I did with a couple of girls. One of my friends got together, it was like 3 of us, and they all purchased an Eduardo. The event didn't start out as an Avon party. It was, okay, they all bought an Eduardo and I needed to deliver. So instead of making 3 individual deliveries, I was like, you know, why don't we get together for drinks? I'll bring your Eduardos. You can look through the brochure, and, you know, that's how we end up with the party. So sometimes it just helps to not put so much pressure on yourself to arrange and plan a party. Sometimes it might happen spontaneously, and it might be just as good or even better as than, you know, a planned event. So don't discount those either. You do want to plan. I don't not planning, because I start planning for my parties at least 2 weeks before, because I'm ordering products. I want to make sure that I have enough stuff. I want to promote online. I want to invite my friends and give them enough time to invite their friends. So, you know, you do want to plan, but it depends on the scale that you have. Keeping the location. So starting off with just having a proper location, deciding on who you're inviting, because the type of people you have or who you're inviting will also influence the atmosphere. Yes, Pamela, this event will be recorded, so you can actually watch it later on. So for those of you who have to go to AUL Academy, go. I will still be here with this video. You can watch it later. AUL Academy is also very important. And kudos to you for being invited to AUL Academy. I really like that program. Hey, Ursula, thanks for joining. Oh, Cecily was telling me that those things where you go and listen to the presentations, they're called staging events. So we're not staging, we're party people. So when you're having your Avon parties, you're welcome, Pam. Develop your checklist and figure out what your goal is. Are you doing a fundraising party? Is it just a couple of girlfriends getting together for, you know, to have drinks and socialize? Or is it like a open house kind of situation? Do you need to have a theme? The theme will impact what products you have. I will tell you, I tend to have themes. I try to have themes that are centered either around the holidays or centered around like a product launch. Last year when we launched Little Black Dress, we did a Little Black Dress party, and it was really fun. The ladies came over and I asked them to all dress up in their favorite little black dress. It was awesome. We had a good time. It was it was an interesting space situation, but we did connect and meet a lot of people, and there was a lot of networking between the ladies that were there because they were bloggers and fashionistas and they were interested in that and they connected with each other. But we had amazing pictures because they were all dressed in their favorite black dress, and there's something about being in your little black dress. You kind of feel good about yourself. Next year, we are coming out with Little Red Dress. So I'm going to be planning a Little Red Dress party where we all wear our little red dress. I didn't have one, and I thought about this a couple of months ago when I was thinking, okay, you know, gonna need a little red dress party. I was like, I'm gonna have to go out and buy a little red dress, and then I got one from Avon, so good job on that. But so when you're thinking about your theme, that will help you decide what products you're having. If it's the main product at my little black dress party was the little black dress fragrance, and then I had supporting jewelry that was black and gold, black and yellow kind of theme. So I kind of had a black and yellow theme. I often will focus on a product that's being launched, whether my party has a product-based theme or not. I try to have at least one fragrance and at least one skincare product. To be honest with you, you can even look at the brochures. A lot of times the cover of the brochure is the main product that Avon is featuring. Just pick that product and you could base your whole party around that. I think campaign 25 has the candles on the cover. Have a candle party. Have the fragrances and the scents. Have the little samples. Have some candles on display. If you can burn them, burn them. The candle mixology is really great. You can have your friends test different fragrances. You know, have fun with it. So even if you don't have a theme, you could just pick that product and base your party around that. If you don't want to have a theme, you can just feature a variety of different products. I think having a theme helps me because otherwise I would bring everything. And I have done that before. I've had parties where I rolled out with 4 suitcases worth of stuff and I had it on display. It looked beautiful and gorgeous, but because it was kind of all over the place, it was too distracting. And people didn't get to see or test all of the products. So I've condensed, also because I'm traveling on the train. I don't drive when I have my party. So for those of you who feel like you can't be active and have parties and do events because you don't have a car, don't talk yourself out of having events. Get yourself a rolling suitcase, jump on the bus to the train. I've done it. I mean, I have a car, but that's what I did when I didn't have a car. And even having a car, again, because of parking, it's easier to just take the train. So condense your products, try to align them with the theme that you have, and use that to influence what you talk about. So when you have a party, you're going to start off with inviting and promoting people. Send out, you could do snail mail kind of postcards and official invitations. I usually save those if I'm doing a big party, if I've remembered in time for like holiday parties and stuff, I might do that. You could do emails. I promote a lot on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. If you have an email list with all your customers, that's why I strongly recommend when you go out and you're doing your recruiting events and you get the emails from people with their permission. Don't spam people. But once you've gotten their permission to email them about events that you're having, email your email list and let your customers know that you're having an event, the date and time, and send out reminders because people forget. Even though my party is every month and every third Thursday, I still send out reminders before, like a couple of weeks before the event, and then I send out a reminder like a couple of days before, and then I might send out a text the last day that they can register. Like I might say something like, you have 24 hours left to register for the event. And I do try to put a registration cutoff point because I do raffles. You have to order enough food. There are things that you need to know that the number of guests will impact. So again, if you're having, just a couple of girls over, they probably just want wine and you're fine. If you're having people who are coming from work, they might be a little hungry. You might need something more dense. So that goes back to you knowing who your party audience is. So you invite, you promote, you have your theme, what products you're using, if you have decorations or not. You don't have to. I mean, the products are beautiful enough. I do use, what do they call them? The jewelry stands, like the little flat velvet type of necklace stands. I use those. I have some little square boxes with the velvet inside for laying out my necklaces and my jewelry pieces. I don't know the name of them, but Avon has these black boxes with mirrors. I won them in an incentive. This is why I say for you guys to do as many incentives as you can. Lisa Harrell on here is our team's incentive queen. If there's an incentive, she's going to win it. She just puts her mind to it and works towards it and earns it. But when Avon puts out incentives, guys, these are opportunities for you to get stuff to build your business. And it saves you in the long run because now you don't have to go out and invest. Those products, I bought the the jewelry holders and the jewelry boxes myself, and I think some of them are like, I can't even remember, but it costs money. And the black boxes with the mirrors didn't cost me anything because I got them from Avon. So try to do the incentives, guys. But I usually use, if it's an event where there's just black tables or white tables, I'll just use the table base and use the stands to display my products. I do recommend, especially if you're displaying jewelry, not to lay everything flat. I try to elevate it a little bit and kind of what's the word? I don't know, stand them up so that when you walk up to the table, your eye can roam over more products, even if you're far away. And then if you're interested, then you could walk closer and look down and see what else we have. So I try to have different levels in height, different things standing up versus laying flat. And, you know, just to make it interesting for people so they can go and it's not just, you know, a product on the table. But if it's an event where it's just the girls' night and they're coming over, I can put a couple of products in the middle of the table in a cafe and we could share the brochures and talk around it. So again, your audience determines what kind of event that you're planning. So when I start my party, once everyone's arrived, I try to get there like half an hour earlier minimum to set up before. Sometimes I'm running late, but I've noticed, you know, if I'm still setting up, that takes away from the time that I have to greet and orient people, because a lot of times people are walking in, this might be their first Avon party, they may not know anybody. There's that moment of, okay, I'm here, but what do I do? If I have everything set up already, I can greet them. I try to have the Avon raffle sheets. These are them, can you see? Yes. So these are little raffle entry forms that ask for their name, address, phone number, email, if they already have an Avon representative, if they would like to receive Avon brochures on a regular basis, and if they were interested in learning about the Avon opportunity. These are also the same flyers that we use when we were recruiting. I know you might be inviting your friends and family, maybe so. You might say, why do I need to do all this if they're people I know? I like to do it. I like to do these forms so that I try to have a door prize, and I might do little prizes throughout the event. But this helps me track who was there, because what will happen is I might invite my sister. She might invite a friend from her job. Maybe my sister told me she was coming, so she's on my guest list, but I know nothing about the friend that she invited from her job. I have no name, email address, or anything. I don't know if she has a rep or if she's interested in brochures or she might be interested in the opportunity. This allows me to gather all of that information. So after the event, the people who are interested in brochures, I can add them to my mailing list, or, you know, who don't have a rep, I can add them to my email list. I can count how many people are there. I can use these forms to do the raffle. It's just a lot easier. And sometimes you might have a crowd of 5 or 6 people coming in. You can't physically, you know, talk to everyone like, okay, so your name is, and have you been here before? The time just doesn't allow for it. So with this, they can fill it out. And then when I do get a chance, I could, you know, glance over and say, okay, so you're interested in the opportunity. Let me get you some information. We could talk about that a little bit more later. And mentally, I can make a mental note that he or she is interested in the opportunity. We could talk about that. So when I have the events, I kind of give a couple of minutes in the beginning, maybe 15 to 20 minutes, depending on the length of my event, for people to just network and socialize, to come in, get settled, get something to eat. You know, like I said, a lot of my guests are coming in from work. So just to come in and get out of work mode, have a drink, something to put in their stomach, they need that time. People will also use that time to connect and socialize. I like to give that time so people just aren't walking into me talking, because then they start to feel like, oh, I'm late. There's not enough time for them to get settled. But in the beginning, when I give them time to kind of relax and talk to each other, it creates a better atmosphere, and we tend to have more fun later on when I do that. So you show up early so that if they show up early as well, you can, you know, monitor those people. I've done events where, just because it's New York City and the traffic is horrendous, I've been late, and then I spend the whole event just running, and I don't get to talk to people. I don't get to do what I want. So try to talk to them ahead of time so that the things that you've planned to do and talk about don't collapse and fall through. You know, you want to set yourself up in the beginning. My event is actually third Thursday of every month. So when they come in, they do the raffle flyers, they have some time to eat, mix and mingle, and then I introduce myself. If I have any special guests, I'll introduce them, the hostess. If I'm at somebody else's house, of course, I'm going to thank the hostess. And, you know, we might talk about how we know each other, might have her say something about how much she loves Avon. Especially with the hostess, it's really nice to get them to say a little something, to just even thank her guests for coming, because her guests are going to be her friends. So you want to acknowledge her and you want to thank her and show your appreciation for her. Opening up her house to you and inviting her guests to come and, you know, listen to you for a couple of minutes. So be really gracious to your guests. Usually I present the hostess at that point with a little gift. I usually do a basket, or if I'm rushed, I'll do like a bag of products, but I do like to do a basket because, you know, it has a nice presentation, and when you present it, everybody's like, oh, wonderful. So it makes her feel good, and you do want to reward her for letting you just into her house. Special guests I might have might be members of my team, other representatives. I always invite my team to my events, just so that either they could come and see how an event is done, so that when it comes to be their turn, they can feel more comfortable, or, well, I actually invite them to invite their guests and customers as well, so that if I present the product or put a product on display, you know, I'm already taking the time to rent or, you know, put together a nice display. Their customers can come and shop, and then they could just place the order with the representative. So I do tend to have members of my team at my events. So I might introduce them, have them say a little spiel about how they got involved in Avon, what they love about Avon, you know, their favorite products. And I try not to monopolize the speaking. It's not like one of these where I'm giving like a presentation and it's me talking. I try to have as much interaction as possible. So after the intros, I tend to play games, little icebreakers. One of my favorites is What's in Your Bag? That one gets everyone, no matter how stoic the people are when they walk in. I don't know, maybe it's New York, but people will walk in with the only like, what is this now? What have I gotten myself into? And then I start with like, okay, we're gonna bust out your bags. We're gonna see what you have in there. And usually I have a list of makeup products, and everybody gets a point if they have that makeup product in their bag, and they get 2 points if it's an Avon product. So we play that game. People start to talk to each other because now they're competing with each other. A lot of times, like our last event, we had a gentleman there. He had more makeup than everyone else. So it was fun to see, and they were all talking to each other, and it really just broke the ice. So the rest of the event, we got to have a really good time. After we play games, I might use that icebreaker game to segue into another game. Let's see. I think Price is Right is the game I do the most often. And that allows me to showcase the main products that I have on display. As I said, I tend to have 1 or 2 products at least that I'm going to focus on. It's usually a skincare and a fragrance product. But I like to play the Price is Right for a couple of reasons. Again, icebreaker, it makes people feel more comfortable and relaxed. I can present the product without them feeling like I'm giving the chemical structure and all the uses. It doesn't feel like a class. It's a game. So they're paying attention because they want to win. And they're paying attention because I'm presenting in a way that's more of, you know, more of a relaxed method. So with the Price is Right, it's also fun for a second reason because they're usually surprised by Avon prices. So a lot of times you'll always have the Avon ladies who know what Avon costs. But there are going to be other women who, after I describe the product benefits, the uses, and the results that Avon sees, and this is all information you can get from the What's New. I'm not a product genius. Utilize your What's New, utilize your brochures. After I present the products, a lot of times, especially with the new Ultimate Supreme, I demoed it and I let them try it and smell it, and they were talking about how luxurious it feels, and I spoke to them about other products on the market and how Avon was outperforming those, and people were telling me they're expecting it to be $90, $100, because that's what they used to paying on the market. So when I come and I say, okay, it's $36, it's $35 or whatever, they're floored and they're like, can I take 2? Because they realize what it's worth and the deal that they're getting for it. So that's a great way for you to present the products without feeling salesy. But sales are fine. That's what you're there for. And they know that. So after we play our games and I talk about the featured products, I really like to do my events in places where I have a projector, or I could do a little laptop thing. The Avon YouTube videos, I love so much. My last event, I played the video with Sophia introducing her, Sofia Vergara, introducing her new fragrance. And I also played the video for the Avon Ultimate Supreme. And because the videos look so professional and, you know, they're well done. Avon has professionals do this. Why not utilize it? So if you can play those at your party, great. If you're at an event where you don't have a projector that you can, you know, put it up on the wall for everybody to watch during your presentation, I've done events where I just had my laptop on the table. So as we're walking around and mingling and networking, the video is playing on a loop. So when they come to the table and they're looking, they can stop, take a minute, 2 minutes, watch the video, kind of get the gist of what the product is and move on. So try to utilize those YouTube videos that Avon has. And also the what's new. If you can, a lot of times there's little pages that you could clip them out, put them in a binder in like the little plastic paper savers, take them to Staples, have them laminated, whatever. Put those on the table as well, because a lot of times you might be dealing with a customer and the rest of your customers are walking around and roaming and mingling. That's their chance. They may not be asking you questions, but they're kind of taking in what they see on your display. So when I set up my display, I'll have the product with as much product information and literature as I can from Avon. I might have a video and things like that. So utilize those tools that you have. Avon University also has tools that you can print out. For example, they have the necklace sizer. So if you're displaying jewelry, you could put that image of what necklace shapes and lengths to wear with different outfits. While they may not be talking to you, they could look at that and get an idea of, you know, how they could wear the products. And it also gives you something you could talk about too during your presentation. You know, over here on my table I have whatever, come on over when you get a chance, try it out, you know, things like that, to just engage, get people to engage in your presentation. That's another thing. I am not the kind of person who puts stuff on display that I don't want people to touch. So if it's fragile, or if you don't want people in it, then don't put it out. Because you don't want to be spending your entire evening chasing people like, no, don't touch that, don't touch that. Because it's going to make them feel like, oh, okay, I don't know what I could touch and what I can't touch. And I don't want to, you know, mess anything up. So don't make your display so elaborate and intricate that if someone touches something, the whole thing will fall down. Make it so that they can get in there and touch. Even if you have a beautiful display that is just for display, have some samples or things in front so people can still play in it. People love samples. People love trying things out. So if you have a station with different things that people can try, great. So have some Q-tips on hand. Have some blotters on hand. Avon has those little strips with the eyes now. You can allow your customers to test out the eyeliners and the mascara and the eyeshadows. I always have Q-tips and I always have sanitizer. Also because you want to keep the product sanitary. You don't want people trying on products or taking lipstick and putting on their lips and then passing it to the next person to put on their lips. Everybody in your party will get pink eye and infections and never come back. So just keep your presentation clean, but allow people to get in there and touch it. And allow that time. Don't have such a structured presentation that people don't have time or don't have time to test out your products, because you're going to set up the whole thing and you'll spend the entire time talking. They're going to fall asleep and then they're going to go home. So allow some time for them to look around and play with the products. And that kind of gives me to the last segment of my events. I tend to wrap up with just allowing them time. So I might hand out a couple of samples and let them play in them and try them out. Usually if I'm playing the prices right, I'll keep the brochures until after the game so they're not cheating and looking up the prices. Otherwise, I'll give out the brochures ahead of time. And I always give them time to sit and flip through the brochures. I might play a game with them where they have to be on their own. And then I am off somewhere doing something else. But one thing that I like to use are these little bookmarks. I don't know who I got the idea from, but I kind of modified a shopping list and put it so I could print it to on a page so I can cut them out. And all it asks for is, again, their contact information, name, phone number, and email, and their shopping lists. So it's just like our Avon flyers. If you don't want to print this, use the Avon what do you call that? The Avon order forms. Just tear a couple out of the book and put it in with the customer's brochure so that they can write down the products that they want. And I do something with them where I say, with Avon, there are 3 prices. Full price, the regular price from the brochure, half price, and free. They should ask me for about different prices. And I usually do a little spiel and let them know that if they have a party, if they book a party with me, either at their office or at their house, they can get their products at a discount. And then I usually have a free gift that they'll be getting if they book a party. Sometimes I might do, like, if you book your party, you'll earn this free jewelry set, or you'll earn this free gift, plus you'll earn a commission. If you go to my website, I meant to print this, but it's on my phone, and I'm so used to just looking at my phone when I have it. But if you go to my website, bossladies.com, and click on the party, host a party section, you'll see the earning structure that I have for my events. So if they have a party, the higher their sales, the bigger their commission. And then for free. So I let them know that if they're a representative, they can join and they can earn the free samples. They can get their products at a discount, always. So it's not just if they have a party. And you know that I do raffles and things like that. So just have a structure that you talk to them about. So my spiel is, you know, you love free products. Who loves to pay full price for products? And everybody's like, not me. And I'm like, you know, who likes to get products at a discount? And then you get a couple of people. So I'll talk to them about starting their own Avon business. Some people you kind of see do one of these where they're like, no, I don't want to sell. You know, she's trying to recruit me. I don't want to do that. But I let them know that they could be hostesses as well. So they get the best of both worlds. You could be a hostess and get the products at a discount, or you can open your own account and get the products 40% off. If you like the free products, if you book a party, you get a free basket. If you do this, you get a free basket. You know, I have different things so that there are different options for people's different preferences. And then, so while they're looking through the brochure and making their list, I have them make the list of their products. And then at the end, I ask them, you know, what they would like to order today. I tend to let them order online. I don't do a lot of on-the-spot sales because I don't know. A lot of times I'm taking the train, so I can't always carry a ton of products. So I might have things like lipstick and glimmer sticks that they could purchase on the spot. But if they want to purchase, and I might have a few of the 2 featured items. But for example, if I'm having candles, I can't throw 30 candles in my bag. And Avon has like 10 different fragrances. So it's for me to decide, okay, I'm going to carry 2 of each. I don't do that for my sip and shops. So I have products that I have on display, a couple of cash and carry items that I know will just be impulse buys, but I try to encourage the rest of the customers to place their orders online because they're just going to be stuff that they need that I can't carry. I can't put a gigantic 24-ounce bottle of all 3 fragrances of Skin So Soft and all 3 fragrances of Moisture Therapy in my suitcase to carry on the train. It just gets to be too heavy. So I try to encourage online sales for my party. So when they make their guest list, I go through it with them, let them ask me questions if they want to know, and I help them place their order online. They can place their order online right on the spot, so they'll get it delivered to them. And I usually do something where if they place an order on the spot, they get entered into a different raffle drawing, or I might offer a free gift to them for placing the order on the spot, just something to encourage them, to entice them to place their order. You can also use this list to talk to them and say, you know, you've got $200 worth of stuff on here. If you open your own account, you'll be getting 40% off, and you never know who else might be there who might want to who else you know who might want to place an order. Sometimes I talk to them and say, well, you know, depending on how they raise their hands earlier, I might say, well, you know, you could have a brochure party and you can get all of these products at a discount. You may not be able to book a party to have in your house, but for this weekend, show the brochures around, collect the orders, and I usually will do $20 in free products for every $100 that they collect from their friends and family. So they could either, that's their free, how they can earn their products free. So they go out and they have their friends place $100 in orders, they can get $20 in product for free. So I go through that with them, and I just remind them again when they're making their list, because a lot of times too, people will look through the brochure and, you know, they're just not financially in the place where they can get what they want. But I carefully titled this my wish list. They may not be able to get everything on here, but I can show them how they can get the other products either at a discount or for free. And they appreciate that. And a lot of times they'll be willing to go out and collect those orders for the free stuff, even though they're not ready to start their own business. So I like to give a lot of options for people. So again, they feel comfortable and they don't feel like, oh my gosh, it's pressure to buy stuff. But again, if it's your friends and family, like when I'm having my girlfriends, I don't go through the entire spiel. They look through the book, they place their orders, we go away and we come back and we meet again. And I'm sure that your family is like that. If you're doing an event that's like a fair or a market, then of course you don't have time to go through all that talking. You're not going to have time to play games. So it's more of a cash and carry. You might have to have more products on hand. But I still, even during the fairs, I still do the raffle forms to get everyone's information. And I do talk to them about the Avon opportunity and the opportunity to host a party. Sometimes I will even have a folder with some printouts of, a checklist for when you're having a party, a guest list, so that they can write down the names of the people that they want to invite to their party, and that printout of the free half price and full price, so that they know how much they're earning, if they have a certain party size, so they can determine how many guests they want to bring. So I try to have at least 3 of those folders as well on display, so that people, again, while they're walking around and looking, because people will look and get into things and see things that you won't have time to present to them. So I do have the recruiting flyers out. I do have the party selling flyers and the fundraising, Avon fundraising out, so that they can see those things and ask me about it if they do have questions. So I try to have those 3 things, and I try to have 3 of the party hostess packets, or what I call them, so that people who are interested in being a hostess can just take the whole entire packet instead of having me go through what I just went through with you and explaining how the party thing works. They can leave with the packet. We could talk about it later on and schedule some time. I already have their contact info. So supplies. I kind of went through some of what I have for jewelry displays. I always have brochures. I always have recruiting flyers, and I do have sample packs. So when people come into my party, unless I'm playing the Price is Right, they get a brochure and some samples to start off with, just for coming and just for being there. I welcome them with a little gift, and usually in that gift I have some samples. I have a recruiting flyer. I have the brochure. I have the fundraising flyer. So that's their packet to leave. Everybody gets that when they come. I try to do the big skincare samples. If I'm feeling generous, I might put 3 skincare samples in there so they could try the regimen. 3 to 5 skincare samples, so they have like a week supply. I try to use the vials of perfume, so when people come to my parties, they get the bigger samples. When we're prospecting and recruiting on the street, they get the little flat samples. And then I'll do raffles and games. So during the event, when I do the games, I use like maybe more samples to hand out as prizes. I might do little minis. I don't know if I'll post pictures of the stuff that I have in the chat after this, but I might use the like the scented perfume. I kind of wrap those up in a little plastic bag, like it's a gift. It's not a basket because it's just that product, but I'll do that with some of the products. And I'll hand those out as gifts. So I'll hand out hand cream. Sometimes I have a bucket of lipsticks, the little lipstick samples, just a pan of lipstick samples. So as we're going through, if let's say we're playing a game, they get a question right, I might hand out, a little handful of lipstick samples, and people love it. There's a little bit of nostalgia with the lipstick samples because a lot of them have memories of their moms playing the lipstick. I love the lipstick samples. I've shared that with you a million times. So I give those as gifts. And then I might have like big raffle baskets. My upcoming party, I don't know if you could see it, this guy right here, Miss Milagros, she sent out some baskets to representatives who did parties for breast cancer awareness. This will be one of the basket prizes at my next event. So usually I put together a small basket with 2 to 3 full-size products that I can raffle off as the door prize. I have a door prize just for coming. I might have another door prize, so everyone who comes with 1 or more guests gets a separate entry into that. I might have another raffle for everyone who places an order that night. So, you know, you can use your baskets and your gifts as incentives to encourage people to participate. So they feel rewarded. But those are the main supplies that I bring outside of the products that are on display. You do want to have napkins and cotton swabs and rubbing alcohol. Like, those are, I guess, like a given for party display and events. But in addition to that, you want to have some stuff to give away as prizes as well. And it doesn't have to be expensive. It doesn't have to break the bank. You can use shower gels. Sometimes I'll put the shower gel in the clear plastic with a little bow, and I'll have those like in a basket. Avon had an apple basket I guess it's last year now. It's not even a couple of months. It's literally a lot of months. But Avon had the apple basket. I filled that up with products that I would walk around like a school teacher and, you know, give those out as the shower gels out as samples. So do that. But the point is to have fun with it. You're going to have a party that's going to be a complete and total bust. I have had parties where I was almost in tears because nobody showed up. So when you're having your events, if it doesn't go the way that you planned, don't let it stop you. Don't let it discourage you, because if you stop at that point, then you won't get to the point where you have a really big turnout and really big sales at your party. Keep going. Have fun with it. Make it something that you enjoy. So, you know, invite a couple of your girlfriends. So even if no one else shows up, you guys could, you know, sit together and have coffee. Shout out to Dorel and Denisha. One day I had a party where none of the guests showed up. It was just the three of us representatives, and we turned it into a training. We must have finished a bottle and a half of wine by ourselves. But we had a good time. We connected and we bonded. So the party wasn't a bust because it was still us getting together and interacting. So it was still fun. So don't feel discouraged if a party or an event doesn't go the way that you wanted to. That's fine. Just keep going with them. Keep planning. See what you did wrong. Maybe you didn't promote enough. Maybe you didn't promote enough baskets. Maybe you didn't call or text to remind people that your event was happening. I think on both of those occasions where nobody showed up, it was either raining or snowing. It was like February kind of events. So the weather might be a factor. You might have to say, okay, well, if it's really bad weather, maybe I should just cancel versus going there and setting up. So keep that in mind. I've also had parties where it was snowing and everybody decided to come because we had hot chocolate and coffee. I don't know. So know your audience and kind of plan around that. So those are my party selling tips. I think I got everything. The only other thing I want to talk about, and I'm going to post some product numbers in the chat box, but Avon is coming out with these guys. So these are going to be featured in my upcoming party. These are the new Avon recruiting booklets. The This Is Boss Life booklets. They are so cute and tiny. Aren't these perfect for sample packs? So these will be in my sample packs, but I love them because I always say I like that Avon's new commercials kind of have a story. It's not just buy Avon or sell Avon. It's kind of telling you the benefits of being a rep. So it has, you thought you knew Avon, which everybody thought they did. But it's time to get to know the brand new Avon. It has the new products. The new attitude. It's Miss Lydia. They've got the new ways to get started and new funky products. Sofia Vergara. They have the new ways to share. I can't tell you how many times I get people asking me if we still go to door to door as representatives, and I'm like, no, we have cell phones for that now. I'm like, do you still go to your next door neighbor if you need to ask them a question? You probably call them or send them a text message. So, you know, we do that too. It's not the dark ages. Just because we're Avon reps, it doesn't mean that we're oblivious to technology. It has the new opportunities to earn, but you know, the booklet is just kind of a fresh new look, new celebrities at recruiting. So these are going to be available online. I'm going to give you the product numbers in the chat box. I'm going to actually put it in the comments in my description above. It's got the breast cancer awareness, and it's got a brand new you, because at the end of the day, it's about the people we're bringing into this company. So that's the booklet. I will have these at the party, you know, all spread out and on display, and everybody will get one of these if I could find enough in time. Maybe if not this party, then the next one. But it also has the $1,000 in 90 days. I don't know if you can see. It's probably backwards, but it's on there. So those are my party tools and supplies and tips and a walkthrough of how I do my parties for those of you who can't make it here physically. But if you can, reach out to your uplines or your district managers to see if you can even accompany them on one of their events or partner with them. It's always good to have more than one person there. I love my homegirl Ileana. Shout out to her because she comes and she helps me hand out samples in the beginning. She'll help me put things together. Shout out to Cordelia. She's come to my events and she comes and she'll help with the madness that is usually happening at the parties. So it's always good to have at least two people because stuff will happen where you're just like, ah, and it's always nice to have a backup. And even if it's just someone there to back you up in case of emergency, that's always good to have too. So reach out and connect to other people and partner up. So let me go to the comments. It seems like you guys have some good stuff going on here. Going all the way up, we've got some success that we're celebrating. Hey Marva, sorry I didn't see when you came on. I responded to your question though, I think. So my events are every third Thursday of the month. So my event for this month is going to be this week, Thursday. Renee Baker said that she's done an Avon memory game, and the one that lists the most items wins those items. Oh, that's an awesome game. I love that. And she said her customers loved it too. She also said that she uses Albie dollars for an auction. So Albie dollars are like Monopoly money, but instead of the Monopoly man, it has Mrs. Albie. You can Google them and download them. I'm pretty sure a lot of representatives have them online, and if you can't find it, let me know. She said she bagged several bags and guests didn't know what was inside. So she kind of, oh, that's a cute idea. So she used the Albie money during the party, and then she had some bags of products that the guests didn't know about. So it was like a mystery box. I've actually been thinking about doing that at her event. I saw it done at Comic-Con and I thought it was fun. So it's good to hear another person is doing it and it's working. So her guests earned the Avon, the beauty bucks, the Mrs. Albie dollars, by asking questions about Avon, by playing the games, or hosting a party. And if they joined, they got beauty bucks as well. That is awesome. I love that. That's a great idea, Renee. Thanks for sharing. Kathleen says she loves the idea of having an event or Avon party. She usually gives an Avon Facebook party on her Facebook wall. She'll post a lot of Avon products on her wall to show and sell. And today she received a message in Messenger. So she's waiting for the person's customer to respond, for the person's mother to respond, and she's hoping for a contact. Awesome. Congratulations, Kathleen. See, when you promote your products, people will eventually respond. So don't be shy about promoting. Renee says she's had 3 parties so far. Congrats, Renee. So you're like the party pro. Myra said she loves the ideas for doing events. Milagro says nice. Sorry for all the vibrating. My phone alerts are going off. And Miss Kathleen says she loves the ideas and information for planning an Avon party. She's going to share it on her wall. Thank you. I hope it helps your team and your friends. Myra says nice. Loves the great ideas. Ursula loves ideas. Thanks, Ursula. Renee, you can actually purchase these books now. You just need the product number. In English, the product number is 607129. And in Spanish, these booklets are 607148. And they come in packs of 25. I just placed my order today and I forgot to order more. But I'm going to post it as well. So you're welcome, Miss Renee. Cicely says she got some good pointers and a bunch of thanks. You guys are welcome, Myra and Ursula. So that's it on my party planning tips. But again, these are just how I do my parties. Renee shared some great ideas. Kathleen shared some great ideas. So everybody does it differently. The point is that you A, get it done. Just do it and have fun with it. And B, that your guests have a good time and, you know, you enjoy yourself, because that's what it's all about. So thank you guys all for joining in and tuning in to our weekly conference call. Ooh, my Avon jewelry. We will be back next week, Tuesday, same time, same place. I know next week is Thanksgiving, but we will still be on live. We don't start cooking here until Wednesday night. My mom starts seasoning from Sunday, but I don't start cooking until Wednesday night. So our call is going to be on next week, Tuesday as well. So I'm here every Tuesday, again, with me and my schedule. Avon parties every third Thursday. Avon trainings every Tuesday. easy to remember. So I'm looking forward to seeing you guys there, and I want to hear about your parties. Take pictures, share them on Facebook, share them on social media. Let's see what kind of parties and events that you're having, and you know, that you guys are having a great time. Get on social media and start sharing with everyone. You're going to encourage other people to have parties, and you'll grow your customer base, because when your friends start looking and saying, okay, she's having a lot of fun over there, what is she doing? Is that the party she invited me to that I did decide not to go to? They're gonna have a good time. So share on social media and let's see those party guys. It's that time of year, so let's have fun with it. All right guys, see you later. Bye.